My name is Giannis.
Doesn't matter where you start at.
I want to be an NBA player.
It only matters where your heart's at.
I'm going to do whatever it takes to help my team win, and I'm going to win the MVP.
Make the impossible doable. I just want you to know you could be far from the usual. Anything you want, you can get it. Chase your dreams like you really can't lose.
Did it. Don't let nobody tell you what you can be or what you cannot do.
So follow your dream.
All right, welcome back to The Jump. I'm George Sedano in for Rachel Nichols. Still here with Perk and Ramona. So we saw Giannis there, so let's play The Jump's oldest game. Something, nothing, or everything. And we start with Giannis, who struggled at times in the playoffs with his free throw shooting. We all remember fans on the road counting 1, 2, 3, you get it, while Giannis was at the free throw line. So he imitated that for the Milwaukee fans in yesterday's parade. So Perk, is Giannis having some fun at the expense of being trolled at the free throw line? Something, nothing, or everything?
It's everything, for the simple fact that when you're a champion, you get to do things like this. When you've been trolled by the fans and they count down 10, 9, 8, look, he could do whatever the hell he wants and piss everybody off. And I love every single thing about it, because when I was a champion, I rubbed it in people's face and I wanted to make the haters so mad. Do your thing, Giannis. This is everything.
Yeah, I'm going to say it's everything, too, just because he made his free throws in that last game, 17 and 19 in that game 6. So you get to do that, not just because you won, but because you made those free throws. And I think when you have something like this, you can be Ben Simmons or you can be Giannis, okay? Ben Simmons struggles with his free throws, too, and doesn't like to talk about it, doesn't like to laugh about it, doesn't think any of it's funny. He also hasn't figured out how to make them when he needs to. Giannis has put himself out there. He continues to try. He continues to do things. Sometimes he makes them, sometimes he doesn't. But he's also laughing about it now. That's huge, to be able to laugh at yourself.
And by the way, kudos to Giannis in this regard. He didn't let that affect him at home, because a lot of his shooting woes at the free throw line were on the road, where he shot under 50% this postseason. And at home, he shot almost 80%. So he didn't let that affect him when he went home. All right, next up. And by the way, of course, it's everything. All right, next up, we have Knicks GM Scott Perry. After the Knicks made the playoffs for the first time in 8 seasons, they also landed home court in the first round as well. Got to give them their props. Perry was extended on a multi-year deal, according to The Athletic. So, Ramona, Scott Perry being extended. Is this something, nothing, or everything?
I like the action shots for the GM with the phone, right? That's a good action shot. I think that's something. Look, Scott took over under the previous regime. Do you know how rare it is to be able to keep your job with a whole new regime that comes in? And they kept him there because he's the guy who went out and got Julius Randle. He's the guy who pivoted when they realized they weren't getting Kyrie and Kevin Durant together. He pivoted. He went and got Bobby Portis. He went and got Julius Randle. He reloaded with Taj Gibson. I think he's a very valuable member of that front office in constructing that team, but also in keeping that team together. The players on that team like Scott. They trust him. He's the one they signed with. And it's a good sign for Scott, who this offer's been on the table for a couple of months here. I think Scott was in demand and talking to other teams about running a franchise himself again. That didn't materialize, so the Knicks just kept him here as the general manager under Leon Rose. But Scott's a name you're going to hear again for other general manager openings that are coming up.
Well, I'm going with everything again on this Friday, for the simple fact that it's showing a lot of character throughout the organization, right? When you go out and you hire a guy like Leon Rose and you hire World Wide West, and Scott Perry has already been there, it just shows me that those guys also value him, along with Dolan that values him, along with Tom Thibodeau, along with those players. So for him to get that extension, and you have other guys that have come into the organization and one is ahead of you for as calling the shots, it just shows great character all across the board. And I can't believe that we're sitting up here right now, right before the draft, right before the free agency, and we're talking great about the New York Knicks. Times have really changed. Times have really changed.
To your point, Perk, I have spent many a time over the last 15 or 20 years, maybe making a joke or two about the New York Knicks. So kudos to them. They have done a great job here moving forward. They've got some real continuity. They've got a front office that knows what they're doing. And for the first time in a very long time, we should be positive about the Knicks, and that is a good thing for sure.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.